Hello everyone, and welcome to our first session of at-home origami. And since it's the holidays now, our first origami session is going to be a holiday pine tree. So, it looks like it might be a little complicated to make, but in reality it's actually quite easy, and I'll show you how to do it. And then at the end you can decorate it however you would like. So, all origami is based around a piece of square paper, but unfortunately the paper that we have at home isn't square. It's rectangular, and there are a couple ways to make it into a square piece of paper. And I've included an instruction sheet in all of the origami kits that will show you how to do that, but I'll also show you here. So perhaps the easiest way is to just take your rectangular piece of paper and pick any one corner and then fold it down onto itself so that these edges line up, and then you can very gently crease it. And that'll hold it in place so that you can take a pencil and then just trace lightly along that straight edge there. So when you open it back up and smooth out the crease, you've got a line here. And that line lets you take a pair of scissors and basically just cut as straight as you can down that line. And once you've done it, you've got yourself an origami square. Easy as pie. But there is another way to do it. And that's when you take two sheets of paper. If you don't want to have the folded line on it at all, you can just overlap these perpendicular to each other, so going in opposite ways, and then you just line up their corners like so. So you can now see that there is another line that we can take our pencil and just gently go down, and that makes our straight line as well. So we can then just cut that straight line the same way that we did the other one, and it will make a square. So now that we have our square, we can start with folding our tree. The beginning step is to rotate it so that one of the points is facing you. And these first few steps, you're going to find through a lot of our origami programs that these first few steps are the same for each of these folds. So we start by turning that towards us. And once we've done that, we can take our bottom edge and fold it up to the top. And you want to line up these edges as close as you can, as well as this corner here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to make it as close as you possibly can while you slowly crease this against the table. Once you've done that, you can open it back up, smooth it down, and then rotate it again so that line is facing you. Once you've done that, we're going to fold over itself again in the exact same way. And this is going to wind up with a plus sign on our paper when we open it back up. So we've got our plus with the point in the middle. So now what we need to do is turn it upside down so that it's kind of tinted up on the table like so. You can turn it so that a flat edge is facing you. Makes it a little easier. And then we're going to fold it hot dog style up onto itself. And then we unfold it again, and you'll see that these points are coming together in the middle. Rotate it, and then we'll do a hot dog fold again. And this leaves us with 8 triangles on our paper. And you'll notice that it doesn't want to stay flat anymore. So turn it back over again so that it's like a tent. And we're going to form it into a tiny folded square. And the way that we'll do that is by taking these two sides, pinching them together, lifting up, and pushing together in the middle at the same time. So I'll show you again. You pinch these two lines, one of these squares. You lift it up from the table and you push them together at the same time. And that does this. It's kind of a plus shape again, but also squares. And you want to let these come down onto themselves. Oh, we got a little mess up there. There we go. So that they lay flat into a square. And it'll have pages, almost like the pages on a book. So when you have that, you can smooth down these edges again, just to make sure that it's all doing well. And now, I'd say we're about halfway done. So the first step to make this into a tree, though, is to take one of these flaps and fold it over onto itself, lining up this line and the center crease, almost like you're making a paper airplane. So once you've done that, you can open it back up and lay it flat again. So we've made this crease so that this next step will work. And it's a little bit complicated, but I'll show you twice how to do it here. What we'll be doing is opening up this flap and then folding it over onto this side without folding the whole sheet. Remember, we're just going to fold this top sheet. We're going to reach a finger underneath this top layer here, so only get this top layer. And then with your other hand, you can hold down the flat side and you can kind of push it over so that this goes to the middle, and then you can just flatten it out like so. And it makes this triangle almost like a kite shape here. So I'll show you again. From this crease, hold it down on the flat side, stick one finger underneath here, kind of pinch it a little, push it over, and then just spread it flat. And you can see that that's going to be the first cone of our tree shape. So now fold this tree shape over in half like you're turning the page of a book. And then we can do the same thing on this. So we'll fold it down to the center line. Make sure your points come together nicely up at the top. Fold it on the center line and smooth it down. And then open it back up. Put your finger underneath. And then pull it to the middle and lay it flat. Just like so. And basically what we're doing is we're going all the way around the outside of the tree. So now you can turn this whole thing over, and we'll do it yet again on this side. So to the middle, open it back up, finger inside, hold it down, pull that triangle to the middle. And then fold over like a page of a book, and do it again. So you're probably an expert at it by now, having done it so many times, but this should be the last one. Finger underneath, hold it down, fold to the middle. So now you've got this whole thing in a kite shape, but we're not done just yet. You can see we got these two little flanges down at the bottom. So what we need to do is turn that page of that book like that, so that it's smooth. So just take the one on the right, turn it over like the page of a book. So we've got this little flange down at the bottom. You want to take that top layer, fold it up to crease it, and make this triangle that's level with the bottom. And then you just lift it up, and you tuck it behind itself. So you just tuck it behind that top layer. And then you can fold it down. This is going to make the base of the tree. You smooth that out. And we're going to do this same process with any set of pages that has this flange at the bottom. So it's fold it up and then tuck it behind itself, just on that top layer. And see there's another one here. So fold it up and then tuck it behind itself. And smooth it flat. And if you need to adjust your folds at any time, you can just slowly kind of shift the paper around by pinching it and shifting your fingers, and then you can recrease. And this last one here, fold it up, and then tuck it underneath. So now, all of our folding is done, but it's not quite a decorated tree yet, is it? Because it's kind of flat, and it just kind of looks like an accordion, right? So what we got to do, we got to pick it up, and we got to just kind of adjust every page of these books so that it turns into a cone. So there's not an exact science here. You just kind of got to open it up and wiggle it around until it wants to stay in a cone shape, and it will do that eventually. So now you've got the cone, and you've got a great tree shape. And you can decorate this with pretty much anything you might have around the house. You can use markers, which is what I'll be using here, or you could use glitter glue, you could use glue sticks, powdered glitter, you could punch little pieces out of paper and glue them on. You could use whatever you like. So if you want to decorate it, just fold one side flat again, and you can add some garlands. And we'll add some ornaments. And remember, since this is green paper, whatever color you put on it is going to blend into the green. And then to decorate the next page, you just do that. And if you're careful with your lines, you can line them up and make your garlands look continuous. And the easiest way to do that is to just find the edge on this paper and then just follow it over onto the next. Add more ornaments. And you'll see, once we have a couple of these pages in, and it really starts looking like a beautiful holiday tree. Just like so. And you can definitely take the time to go all the way around, but that's how it'll look. So you've got a beautiful plain tree, or you can make a decorated tree, however you'd like. And these are great little last-minute Christmas decorations, and just a fun way to spend some time for adults and for kids alike. So, I hope you enjoyed this, and every third Monday of the month we'll have a different themed origami craft for you to enjoy. Just come pick them up at Youth Services, and that's that. It was nice working with you, and hope to see you again. Enjoy!